Inspires. If you guys are new here to my channel, please consider subscribing as we go over different self-publishing tips, also high-end book marketing resources and trends, along with daily inspiration. I am DLee Inspires. I am a 10-time self-published author, best-selling author. I have my books that are also translated into additional languages, French and also in Spanish, and you guys can definitely find them on Barnes & Nobles. For the hard snap, if you're watching this, is because of the title. It's saying how to get a yes in any situation. And I know you guys are on here because maybe you're not necessarily that you're afraid of rejection, but you just don't like rejection. So you're like, how can I set myself up to get this yes so that I don't have to hear the word no, you know, or maybe next time, or whatever the case may be. And so I think I kind of cracked the code because my mom, she told me at one time I was afraid of even asking. I already had these thoughts in my head and I was already prepared that, oh my gosh, you know, they're gonna say this, you know, I'm a black girl, you know, I'm young, and you know, all these different things were going through my head on reasons why they should say no to me. And I was kind of like prepping myself and preparing myself for this level of disappointment and rejection when my mother said to me, all they can do is say yes or no. So never be afraid to ask. Never be afraid or ashamed to ask. The big question, can you help me? How do you do this? What is step one? What is step two? Because if you don't ask, there's another quote, if you don't ask, then the answer is always no, right? So how do you get a yes in every situation or any situation? And the code that I cracked is this: being prepared. I mean, being prepared or preparation or just going to a situation and you're prepared is like the best feeling in the world. Listen, if you ever went to an interview, or maybe it's a speaking engagement, or maybe it's an event, maybe it's a book signing, maybe it's whatever the case may be. Hey, what's going on, Sherry? Good to see you. You know, it's about being prepared. You have to make sure that when you embark or before you ask that you have everything that they require, because when you are prepared, they have no reason to say no, because the requirements, and I'm not saying be so overly prepared that you don't start, or be so overly prepared that you procrastinate and never ask, or be so overly prepared that you're just like, I'm working on it, I'm working on it, I'm working on it type of thing. I'm talking about being prepared with some of the requirements, or the requirements that are needed in order to get that yes. So if it's at Barnes & Nobles, if you want to do your book signing at Barnes & Nobles, then what you will need to do is call Barnes & Nobles. Ask them, what are the quality? So let's do a little role play here. So I'll call Barnes & Nobles and be like, ring, 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 ring. Hi, this is Desiree Lee. I'm a recently published author. I'm very interested of hosting a book signing at your store. What are the requirements, or what are the requirements, or what are the items that are needed in order to move forward? Oh, really? You're going to need this, you're going to need this. And then don't be afraid to ask more questions. If you do not know or understand what they said, or lingo, or, you know, this is all new to you, ask them. Ask them. Say, what does this mean? How many books do I need to bring? Make sure you have all of those prepared, because then when you call them back, or when you send that email, or when you walk into the store, they can't tell you no. Like, what types of books do you guys accept? Make sure that your book falls in that category. Write all of this down. Is there a certain length of the book? Can it be a short read? Is there a requirement with social media? Do I need to have a certain amount of followers? Do I need to bring my own photographer? What is the capacity of the venue? Ask them all these different questions so you're prepared. So when they say, when you go into there and say, hey, yes, I'm looking to host a book signing event February of 2020, and they're going to say, oh, okay, do you have this? Absolutely. Here's everything right here. And they're going to be like, oh, wow. So they can't tell you, oh, no, you don't have everything. Maybe next time. They can't say no because your book doesn't qualify because you made sure it did. No, you don't have this on social media because you made sure you had that together too as well. They can't say no, whatever the case may be, or rejection. That's how you get a yes. And I just use Barnes and Nobles as an example, but that's for anything on how to get a yes, is to make sure that you are literally prepared before the big ask. Okay, and so make sure you're prepared before the big ask. Now, there is nothing wrong with jumping out there and you're not all the way ready or all the way prepared. If you do jump out there and you're not all the way ready or you're not all the way prepared, then you have to be okay with criticism or someone telling you the next steps that you need to take in order to move forward. So you cannot take it personally when you jump out there, you're not all the way prepared. So for example, if it's a course, for example, if it's an event, speaking engagement, or whatever the case may be, if you're just winging it, right? Because when you jump out there, you're opening the door for people to tell me what you like. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Was it too long? Was it too long-winded? Was it this, that, and the other, and so forth and so forth. And so then you'll be able to adjust it so that you will always get that yes to as well when you ask. Another thing is test it. Test it, get on live stream, get on Periscope, get on Instagram live and test it out. Put some posts out and test it out and see how people respond to what it is that you're getting ready to offer. The thing is, I think a lot of people, they do all this preparation and then they put it out there and then nobody buys. Well, you didn't do your pre-marketing. You didn't let people know something is coming. You didn't pre-test your market. You didn't, so you can make those adjustments during your preparation. So if you did have a book signing at a Barnes and Nobles and nobody showed up, well, you didn't do your pre-marketing or pre-advertisement of this book signing that you were going to have. You just said, hey guys, I'm having this in 2 weeks, or my event is coming up in 2 weeks and a half. And you just think all these people are just going to show up and stop what they're doing and come to your event and different things like that. Like a lot of families and friends and also your fans have to put things in place in order to show up to support you. So when it comes down to putting out your webinar and stuff like that, the only real time that somebody will just, when you put something out and people will just automatically buy, is if you already built that audience and they already know, like, man, I need to jump on this before it goes away or before the price increase because I know something else is going to come out. But even the top influencers, we do our pre-marketing game, meaning that you may see us go live back to back, i.e., this is the second video here on Periscope and on our channel. Okay, so it's preparation to where people see you. Another thing you can't be, hey Brenda. Another thing is that you cannot be afraid to promote yourself and let people know, right? So you can get that yes. You have to promote 7 to 12 times, even sometimes more than that, now that you have different avenues when it comes down to promoting or advertising